Why, hello, and welcome to my embellished life. My name is Patrice, or Pat for short, and thank you for stopping by. This is my first video, or I should say my first YouTube video ever. This is something that I've wanted to do for so long, but somehow I could never muster up enough courage to do so. But I told myself, this is 2023 and we're gonna push the boundaries a bit. We're gonna get in there and do stuff that out of our comfort level. So I hope that you will join me on my journey as I take you along my crafting life. You know, I am always up to something. I sew, I knit, I crochet. I've started quilting last year, which is something that I'm happy. I'm so excited to share as well. I love to cook. I do jewelry making. Hopefully, this is something you are interested in, and you will like and subscribe and keep coming for future content. I know I'm a bit late. You know, I've been looking at all the 2022 makes and the make knives and the goals for 2023. But hey, we are still in January. So a win is a win. A win is a win, okay? So with my 2022 makes, in the maker community, the make nine is a big thing. Personally, the make nine doesn't work for me. It does not work for me in the current format that it's in. I tend to be a bit flighty, and I lose interest fast. This is why I have so many hobbies. So choosing 9 patterns and then sewing them throughout the year, it doesn't work for me because I tend to lose interest. There's other things that I want to do, patterns that come out that might catch my interest, or whatever the case is. Even when I'm sewing, if I'm going through my stash and I'm saying, well, I'm too lazy, I don't want to keep going into my stash, let me just pick out 2 or 3 patterns, and that would be the lineup. I guarantee you, by the time I'm finished that first pattern, I'm not even looking at what I've chosen because I've already lost interest. So that is why the make 9 doesn't work for me. I've tried it with my knitting too as well, and it does not work for me. So what I do is that instead of choosing patterns, I tend to go along the route of sewing goals, maybe techniques I would want to perfect, or whatever garments I would want, and then I choose patterns surrounding that, and that works for me. So some of the goals I had last year is that I wanted to do more in pattern adjustment. Now for me, my current bust size, I fluctuate a lot in my weight, but currently my bust is 40, my waist is 34, and my hips are 40. The Lord did not bless me in that area, guys. I have no hips, I have no behind, but hallelujah, anyhow, we make it work. But yeah, those are my current measurements. Also, I find that when I'm making tops, if I don't do an adjustment like up in the neck and the arm area, that it tends to have a lot of gaping. So I think, based on past research, I think what I've discovered is that they said is that it could be a sloped shoulder. I might need to do a sloped shoulder adjustment, and that's something I've yet to try, but I would like to try it in the future. But what I currently do is that if I'm cutting a 16 for my bust area, I tend to go 14 up in the neck and the armhole areas and grade it out to a 16, and that works for me. But it works for me, but I would like to learn, the other technical pattern adjustments to give me that fit. I also wanted to work with fabric. Oh, guys, I have this thing with knit fabric. Somehow I don't know what it is. I wear a lot of knits. I live in a warm climate. I live in the Virgin Islands. I don't experience the four seasons. It's practically warm most of the year. And so I wear a lot of knits, but for some reason I don't use or sew with a lot of knits, and that's something that I wanted to experiment with last year. Did it happen? No, it didn't, but that's another talk for another day. I also wanted to fine-tune my techniques for making buttonholes. That's one of my how should I say it? I'm just going to be frank. Can I be frank? Can I be frank? I don't like making buttonholes, but a lot of the dresses and a lot of the outfits that I wear requires some sort of buttonholes. I can guarantee you that I've had dresses that I've made last year that are completed. It's just for me to put in the buttonholes, but it's just there. And it's just there, just blase, just hanging in the closet, and it's already made. But again, that's another story for another time. I also wanted to work with more zippers. And when I say zippers, I should say invisible zippers. I also wanted to do trousers last year, making more tops and shirts, jackets, cardigans and duster. I like the long flowing dusters. I'm a cardigan girl. I love not only cardigans, I love robes. One of my favorite lingerie is actually the robes. I'm that person who would walk around the house all day in one of my satin robes, and I'm just, can't tell me nothing. Yeah, so I wanted to make more of those last year. And also shirt dresses and laptops. And I wanted to make camis last year. And also and a halter dress, more halter dresses, because I love halter dresses. Did I accomplish everything? Well, as you can tell, obviously not. But I can say that I've accomplished quite a few of them. I've did a lot of makes that had in the invisible zippers. I did wrap tops. I did my halter dress. I did the cardigans. Oh, I shouldn't call it a cardigan. I did do dusters and the shirts and the tops. And I did work with buttons and stuff like that. So I didn't complete everything, but I did manage to get most of that done. So let's talk about the patterns now that I used last year. Now last year, and I'm so shocked, because before I did this video, I said, let me count and see how many garments I made last year. One of my favorite YouTubers is Rochelle Handmade Designs. And the other day when I watched her makes, and she was like 115. I'm like, what? 115? How do you sleep? What do you do? How do you eat? My props. My props to you, Lady Rochelle. I'm such in awe. I'm so inspired by your makes. But for me, I was able to do 30 garments last year, and for me that's quite a lot. That is actually quite a lot. Given in that I didn't sew every month. There were times when 3 months have gone by and I didn't sew anything, because that's just me. So I was quite shocked when I was going through my archives or my journal, because I do have a sewing journal. Everything that I do, I try to document it. So if I happen to make it again, I can go back and see what it is I've done. Was there any difficulties and all of that? So going through my sewing journal, I'm like, 30. I've made 30. What? And I haven't taken photographs of all of them, so that's why I was so shocked. But yes, I did 30 garments last year, and that came up to be 6 tops, 2 skirts, 20 dresses, 1 duster, and 1 jacket. We're gonna talk a bit about my makes and what it is that I liked. Did I have a favorite make? Oh yes, I did. And some of those that I didn't like and I know that I wouldn't make again. Now I'm just gonna go through the patterns. I'm not going to go month by month. So they are not in order. I'm just randomly picking up the patterns. So the first pattern that I have here is the McCall 8088, this pattern, and I'll try to put the patterns on the screen for you guys. And so this is the pattern, yeah. And I did view A. This is a wrap dress that I did. It came up pretty good. I love wrap dresses. Wrap dresses is one of my favorite kind of dresses. I wear them to work. I wear them for church. I can make them casual. I can dress it up, and all of that. So I did like this make. I will definitely make it again. The next pattern I've got is Mimi G. I love Mimi G. I do love it. I'm so inspired by her. I mean, she is the true definition of a superwoman. She does it all. But the pattern that I have here is S9550, and it's a short dress. It's a crop top, and you can actually have another version of it where it's actually a trouser. Now I chose the dress version, and I did the dress. I haven't gotten into the top as well, but this is the 2 skirts that I've made. I made a denim out of it and also a cotton version, a pink version out of it, and I absolutely love this dress. It's something that I wear over and over again. Now the beauty of where I live is that what I make, I can wear it all year round if I want to. I don't have to make it and put it in storage for when that season comes on again. And I absolutely love that. Now, what I did with this pattern, because I didn't make the top, I've paired the dress with, and this is an old pattern. I went into my mother's stash for this See and Sew 5345. It's an old pattern. And what I've did, I've actually sewn the top, which is a sleeveless top, and I actually cropped it, and I've actually paired this top. I've cropped it with Mimi's dress, and I can see more in the future. And this top, it only takes 2 pattern pieces. I'm not joking, 2 pattern pieces. It's one of the easiest makes ever. You can spit out these things in no time. And the fact that I made it slightly cropped is that it doesn't take a lot of fabric to do so. So a lot of my fabric remnants that was under a yard, this. So I can honestly say that these 2 was one of my favorite makes for 2022. I also make New Look N6620, and I made the crop top version right here. I actually made two two tops using this pattern, and it's version C. And again, another easy make. I think it was actually two pattern pieces that you put together, and also with the bias tape. Absolutely love this. Now, I didn't take any pictures when I made these, and I to be honest, I almost forgot that I made them. Definitely a good summer wear. Like I said, I wear my stuff all year round, so I will definitely make it again. Another make that I had for 2022 is the McCall's 8108, and I made version A. I have a love-hate relationship with this dress. It fits in the bust and everywhere else, but that region, my armholes and everything, is just too big. It's just too big. So every time, I've worn it once, and it's a lovely dress. I've worn it once. Actually worn it to church, and but the shoulders, they were just falling, and it was just too big. So I can adjust it, but we'll see. And another reason that I have a love-hate relationship with it, I love baby doll dresses, I really do, but for some reason I don't think they look right on me. It makes me look like a tent, and I don't necessarily like that, but they're so cute. They're so cute. I like to see it, and so sometimes, you know, I try to dabble in and out, but it doesn't work all the time. It absolutely doesn't work for me. But it was a lovely make, and I really liked how I paired the materials. You know, the Ankara fabric with the, I think it was a Swiss dot. A dotted Swiss, I think that's what it was. I could stand to be corrected, but I do like that contrast that I had with the yellow lining underneath. I did like that contrast, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I'll make it again. But for this pattern, I would say never say never. The other pattern that I've made was McCall's M7952. Yes, and I made this little guy right here. Now, I wear this dress all the time. This is actually one of my other favorite makes for 2022 as well. I wear it a lot. I do. I think I've made it with it was chambray, and also a white floral kind of denim material, and I absolutely love it. And the back wasn't a zipper, it was buttons, as we can see from the line of the line drawings. There's buttons down the back. Yes, and yeah. I absolutely love this dress. I'm a fit and flared kind of girl, you know, fitted on the top, flared out at the bottom. I gotta give the illusion that I've got some hips. I'm just saying. So I'm a fit and flared type of girl. And this was actually the McCall 7952, actually one of my favorite makes. Now, another one that I made was McCall's 8105. Yes, 8105, and I made version A. I made this, and I've actually made this out of denim and a plaid material. I wear a lot of denim, guys, and I also wear a lot of cotton. Those are two of my favorite type of materials to sew with. I've worn the dress several times, you know. I do like, because it's a kind of wrap dress, kind of, you know. There's a dress, and then there's two long bands that you wrap to the front, and then you wrap behind to make a bow. So it lifts the girls. It just gives them a lift, and I do like that look. And so I've worn the dress. I've worn this dress a few times, but I'm making dress with straps, and even the previous dress that I showed you, I do have to adjust the straps just to shorten them, because if I don't, the straps would be too long and they're just moving all over the place. I think that was the only adjustment I did for that. Would I make it in the future? Yes. The other one that I've made is McCall's 8155. And it was this. And I did this right here. Oh yes. Oh yes. This was actually, I actually made this for my birthday. The Sunday of my birthday, and I wore it to church. Couldn't tell me nothing. And I've made it with Ankara fabric. I did made it with the Ankara fabric and with contrast purple cotton fabric, and it was so lovely to make. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Got a lot of compliments with this, and I know I'll make it again. I actually do want to make the jacket. Yeah, I do want to make this jacket, but this, absolutely love it. Now, moving on, there's New Look 6266, and I made this shirt right here. Yeah, that's the shirt that I made. It was an easy pattern. I do like the pattern. You know, New Look for me tends to be very, very straightforward. Very straightforward. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I would like to make more of it. I am going to make more of it because I do tend to like sleeveless shirts. Even if I'm wearing them to work, I tend to wear sleeveless shirts and with my cardigan. And that in that way, if it gets too hot, I can always take off, you know, my cardigan. I do plan to make more of this, and I do wear this shirt all the time. Now, another dress is Vogue 9371. This right here. And I think the version that I did was actually UC. I did UC, so I did this one here, but I shortened the length. I don't know what it is, but I do not like midi length dresses, and that's something that I told myself that I maybe have to work on that this year. For me, my dresses, they either have to be above my knee or below my ankle. For some reason, in that middle region there, it doesn't work for me, and I find it very strange because I have no problem wearing culottes or capris, but when it comes to dresses, I don't know. But when you hear my plans for 2023, you will see that I'm trying to work that midi look into my wardrobe. So hopefully I'll find a way to work with it. But for this pattern, I definitely shortened it a bit. I will say that I may have shortened it a tad too much. It was shorter than I wanted it to be, which was my fault because I shortened it the first time, and I'm like, nah, we can go shorter. And then I shortened it again. I should have left it the first time, but I didn't. But it was absolutely a good make. I loved it, and I love shirt dresses. I do love shirt dresses. So this is actually, and it's a dress that I wear often. I can wear it with sandals, I can wear it with sneakers, I can wear it with heels, I can wear it with belts, because I do love belts as well. I can wear it without belts. I can throw a cardigan on it and I'm through the door. I can do all sorts with this. Definitely one of my favorites for 2022. Moving on, there's Butterwick 6318. Bam! And I made, well, They said there's an A and B version, but to me it's the same dress. I think what may differ is the length. And of course I did shorten it to be above the knees dress. I made it in November, and this was actually my second to last make. And I remember it because this was actually the dress, because November in the Virgin Islands is our culture month. It's our culture month. So we do have a territorial cloth, so a territorial fabric. So to our cultural events, you will see a lot of people wearing or national territorial fabric in all sorts of designs and stuff like that. So the church service that I went to, and I'll put a picture up of my dress, I'm so proud of it. I actually made this pattern and it came out absolutely perfect. Loved it, loved it. Of course, I put the petticoat under to give me that kind of flair, because I do like that flair. This is one of the things I love with the dresses of the 60s and the 50s. You know, that just I like that flared look, that fit and flared look. I do love it. So I did put a petticoat underneath it, and it was absolutely divine. I did have a bit of the difficulty attaching the neck facing. I don't know if it was an error on my part, or if it was something with the pattern. I don't know, but I did have to wiggle it and thing it about to get it to fit. But I did get it eventually. That was the only fault that I had with this pattern. But she was good. I loved it thoroughly. This pattern that I'm about to show you, love it. My ultimate favorite pattern for 2022. I've made so many of this dress, and I intend to make more. Oh, I loved it. And it's McCall's 7974. Bam! Loved it. I've made all the views. All of them. But my favorite view is actually view D. And of course, I made view D, but with the length of view A. Yes. Absolutely love this pattern, to the point that I've actually bought another backup pattern for this, and I've actually traced out the pattern so I wouldn't have to keep using this. And one thing with me, if I love a pattern, I would always buy a backup and I will trace it out if I love the pattern. I made some for work. I've made some that I've worn to church. I've made some for any occasion. I love. Did I happen to mention that I love this pattern? My favorite pattern, McCall's 7974. This McCall's, on it says MP203. This one right here. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually made view A. This was the view that I made. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't enjoy this pattern as much as I thought I would. I love these type of dresses. I love t-shirt dresses. I love these types of dresses. But somehow this pattern didn't work for me as I thought it would. Don't get me wrong, the end product still had an end product, but somehow there's something about the dress I do not like. There's something about the dress I do not like. I'm not sure if I'll make the pattern again. I don't know. The pattern calls for buttons to the front. By the time I got to that part, I was so over the pattern. It wasn't a difficult pattern or anything, it was just that I don't know what to say about it. It just didn't work for me. So I didn't add that that button part. I didn't. This has to be in my piles of not favorite for 2022, and to be honest, I don't think that I'll make it again. And now the other one that I have is McCall 7950. This pattern right here, and I made view D, of course, and you know I had to shorten that bad boy. And I absolutely love this pattern. I think this was actually my first make of 2022. Yes. This, so with the black fabric with the Ankara accents of the Kente accent, and I absolutely love the look. I actually wore it to church. Love the look. Love it. Would actually make it again. I have no complaints. That was all of the patterns that I made for the big files, but I also made some patterns from indie design makers. One of them was Decades of Style Pattern Company, and I did the 1948 Celine dress. One of my favorite dresses. I actually made two of those dresses. I made a denim, and then I made it in the it was cotton. So print cotton on top with a tropical kind of fabric, and then green cotton for the skirt. Lovely pattern. I loved it. One of my favorites as well. It was just I just feel so feminine and so sexy in that. Oh, it was lovely. I love that, and I do have plans to make it again. Another pattern that I made was from the Pattern Establishment, and it was their tie front shoulder dress. I think I did it in chambray. I think it was a chambray and plaid. Absolutely loved it as well. It was, and for me, it was an easy pattern, but it's not a pattern that I would recommend to a beginner. Maybe an advanced beginner, maybe. Just because of it's one that doesn't hold your hand in terms of the pattern instructions. It expects you to know certain things. It doesn't tell you everything. But all in all, it was a lovely pattern. I do intend to make this dress again, and reason being is that the cup sizes, the bodice pads, for me, it's a bit too. That area is a bit too large. I made the Cali dress, not the Cali dress. I'm sorry, the chai dress from Itch to Stitch. That is one of my favorite makes as well. I've made a lot of dresses for work in that pattern. Love it. Easy pattern. Itch to Stitch tends to make pretty straightforward patterns, and the instructions are very clear. That chai dress is one of my pattern favorites. And the last indie pattern that I've made, I'm trying to remember. It's the Veronique robe from who made the Veronique robe? Is it Cashmere? I think it's Cashmere. Don't quote me, but if I'm incorrect, I'll definitely put it down below. But I love that pattern. I'm definitely going to make it again. That was actually my last pattern that I made, and I made it in a very just nice, just a yellow with black and white and carrot fabric, and it was lovely. I did lengthen that pattern, but when I make it, I'm going to lengthen it even more because I want it down to the ground. And then I think I made it a size too large, so I'm definitely going to go down at least a size when I make it again. But yeah, that's all of my 2022 makes. So I thank you so much for stopping by, for coming. Hopefully this will not be the last. And I do encourage you to whatever you do, whatever you put your hands to, may you be prosperous with it. All right, guys, have a lovely day. Bye. Be blessed.